Hello guys, so today I'm going to be showing you in OBS how to set it up to record gameplay, and this would be just general recording of gameplay, not streaming. So I'm using OBS multi-platform, which is basically the version of OBS that's taking over nowadays. So the first thing you want to do, click settings, and obviously you have theme here, the default one, but I changed it to dark. That's not anything that we should worry about. Stream, skip past that. Go to output and go to recording. So, you want to leave this on standard, but go from simple to advanced in the output mode. Okay, obviously, pick your recording path, which I have it to my E drive, which is a Seagate 1 terabyte, and leave the audio tracks to however many that you need. So, I have it not recording in FLV, so that doesn't matter. But audio track means, like, if you had 4 sound sources, it would put an individual track for all those sound sources. So you can leave that at whatever. So you have all these different formats. You want to go for MPEG 4. That's the best one for having low file size but still maintaining quality. And the encoder, you can use the NVIDIA one here, the H.264 encoder, only if you have a NVIDIA GPU. So if you have a Radeon graphics card, you cannot use this and it will not show up. You will only have X.264. So you want to use X.264. And you want to go down here to the bitrate and set it minimum of 3000. It defaults at 2500. But you want to put this to 3000, and sometimes even 3500 to 4000 is fine, and that will still keep the file sizes small. So it will have this unchecked, so leave that the same. Leave the keyframe interval, you could change that to 2 seconds, which is fine. And then this use CBR will be checked. You do not want that checked. Uncheck that, leave this the same. And then the CPU usage preset will default for you depending on how good your computer is. Mine defaulted at very fast, but I put it on super fast because I have a fairly modern computer. Now, only put it on the very fast, super fast, or ultra fast settings if you have at least a Intel Core i5 and a 4670K, maybe a 6600K. Things like that are okay. If you have a Core i3, don't use this. If you have a Core i7, just crank it all the way up. But if you do not have a fast processor, do not crank this up because your system will bog down. So leave everything else in here the same. Hit apply, and whoops, didn't mean to hit OK, so I'll go back in here. And after output, go to audio. So for audio, I generally like to leave it at 44.1. 48 doesn't really have any difference, and this will just be so you can set it up if you had multiple devices or if you wanted a push to talk button. In video here, your renderer will either be DirectX 11 or OpenGL based. It depends. It will obviously be OpenGL based mostly for certain graphics cards. And a video adapter tab you can't do anything with. You want your base resolution, which is your actual monitor's resolution, which mine's 1080p. This will default at 720p. I changed it to 1080p, which is how good the quality of the outputted video will be, and you obviously want that at 1080p. In this, the FPS will default at 30 FPS, so I set it to 60 because most gameplay needs to be at 60 FPS. And then you got your hotkeys. You only want to edit the start recording one and the stop recording one. So I put F10 as this so that it wouldn't conflict with my other recording software keys, and F6 as my stop because nothing really uses F6. And after the hotkeys, you can go into advanced, and this can stay at 1000 for the audio buffering time, and leave everything else in here as it is. And that is basically how you set up OBS to record base gameplay. Now, the next thing that you need to do in here is the scene will be your monitor. So if you had 2 monitors and whatnot, you could put in different scenes, but scene here just stands for my one monitor. So I'm going to add something. You'll go in here, you'll go to game capture, you'll just name it whatever. So I'm just going to name it YT Game Cap for YouTube Game Capture. So I'm not going to actually capture anything with it. So you don't want that to be checked to capture any full screen application, or you can't pick. So you want this to be window match priority to be executable name. If you click this and I had a game open, you would click, for example, the exe of that game and set it up. After you do that and hit OK, of course capturing your cursor if you're playing a game where you want your mouse to be captured, you'll check that. If not, undo that. And this use anti-cheat compatibility hook. Use this in games like Arma that have a system that might detect OBS as a cheat system, because there are games that will do that. So, you could also capture third-party overlays such as Steam overlay and whatnot if you needed to, but just leave that how it is, and after that you will basically just hit OK, and it will be there. So now if you open whatever game you selected, or put it in a mode where it'll capture any screen of an open game, and hit your capture button, which for me is F10, you'll begin capturing gameplay. There will be no in-game notification, so just trust me, when you hit that button, it is recording. And then you'll just hit whatever button you set for your default stop recording, and that will be how you stop your recordings. And thank you for watching. That was basically how to set up OBS, the multi-platform, to record PC games directly to your computer as like any other capture software. So this setting stuff will basically work with the normal version of OBS if you're still using it, but the multi-platform is the new supported one, so you really should switch over. It is better. So anyways, thanks for watching, and if you have any comments or any questions, leave them down below, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. And anyways, thanks again.